Hello again. This video is going to cover boarding using an M7M and boarding pods. This is a little bit more challenging and it takes quite a bit of practice to get it right, and again there's several methods for doing this. I'm going to show you the one that I've been successful with. Some people have suggested you could also use a fighter wing of M4s or M5s, give them the command, take attack shields to help maintain the shields on the ship you're trying to capture. And I'm going to try that later, but for now I'm just going to use my Cobra, and I've got flails loaded. I have hammers also. I'm not using those. We're going to try to capture a mammoth, a Yaqui mammoth, and it only has a gigajoule of shield.
Yaqui mammoth.
Yeah, 500 megajoules. So it doesn't take that much, so no hammers involved on this one. You'll definitely use them for the much larger ships, the M2s and that kind of thing. But alright, so the plan for this, I have trained up tons of Marines, and for purposes of this video, to make sure it's more successful, I've got 5-star Marines across the board. So that's a little unrealistic, unless you actually, it's not. Something else I've read about in the forums, basically when you shop for Marines, let's say you buy 5 from a station that has 10 in stock, then those 5 will be replaced over time, and they can be replaced with, and they will be oftentimes, Marines with different stats. So the basic idea is you can park a transport personnel ship, like an express, and all of these places that sell Marines, and you can go clean out the stock that they have, and then as they restock, you actually have a chance of finding a 4 or even a 5-star fight skill Marine. And then you can either jettison them in space and get rid of them. You got to be careful where you do that, because you can turn ships red, or you can just sell them back. I think I haven't tried to do this. You can enslave them at a pirate base, or get rid of them, but the idea is to cycle the Marines available at the military outposts until you find those with 4 and 5 fight skill, and then you can easily just train them up in the outposts, and as we talked about in the last video, to get their other skills up. Alright, so the idea for this is I'm going to launch a barrage of flails, and anytime you use the barrage command, it automatically turns the ship red, so I don't have to go in and change my stats on my ship command console for Yaqui to be enemy, so it'll automatically turn it red. Every time you use a barrage, it fires a whole set of missiles. One barrage of flails for in this instance does almost 30% of his shield, and you can number crunch this if you want. A lot of people have done that. I've just played around with it until I've kind of figured it out for the ship I'm trying to capture. So I'll fire 3 barrages right up front, and then I will start to fire manually 1 flail barrage every approximately 4 seconds. And what I'll do is watch the shields, and the idea is to try to maintain his shields at 5%. Once I can do that manually, then we're good to go. The shields have to be 5% or below before you can fire a boarding pods. If they go above 6 or 7%, they'll fry your Marines. If they go too low, you'll start frying the hull, and your Marines are going to do that for you. So the idea is to keep it right at 5% to fire. Then you'll need to fire a couple of flails right after you fire the boarding pods to distract his point defenses, and then back off and keep the shields down. I haven't been able to do this without significantly damaging the hull. Probably, I think the best I've done is gotten out with 60%, but I'll take that for a 30 million ship. Alright, I'm going to pause the video here and get ready to do this. I'm not going to be able to talk too much while I'm trying it, because it takes a little bit of concentration, and we'll see what happens. Alright, let's put the ship on our monitor. This one's not as fast moving. It's not as important, but I've gotten in the habit of doing that anyways. Double check your weapons. I have a bad habit of firing 3 barrages of hammers at a ship instead of flails, and that pretty much destroys it. So make sure you got the right missile loaded.
Flail
Got flails
barrage
loaded.
missile installed.
Marines are ready to go. We've got plenty of boarding pods, so let's give this a try.
Advanced satellite.
Make sure he's targeted.
Yaki Mammoth.
Oh, one other helpful hint, and I'll give credit after this. I can't remember the name right now on YouTube. If you click on the shield bar, it'll actually convert it to percentages, and that'll help you with the 5%. So here we go. Command. Scroll down to the extra commands, additional ship commands. Number 2 for missile barrage. Current target. And I'm going to fire 3 barrages. It'll automatically turn them red. After those hit, he'll start giving me warnings. I'll kill you, yada yada yada. Alright, as soon as the third one goes, I'm going to start firing one set of flails, one every 4 seconds or so. Starting now, and this is just by pressing the L key.
Split, Captain Hope, that was accidental. Next split warning, come with warhead. Now split, get to blow you out of space.
Alright, I'm watching his percentage. It's getting closer to 5%, so this tempo of firing is dropping it. Now I'm going to slow down a little bit. One every 6 seconds. Wait till it comes back up. I really want to try to maintain it first. I'm going too low here. I'm already into his hull. I'm going to let that charge up just a little bit, and I'm going to fire my Marines. He needs enough shield for me to fire some covering fire on the flails. Yeah, sorry about that. I went way too low. Alright. As soon as that gets up to 4, here we go. Fire all Marines, launch all Marines.
Command accepted.
And then 2 barrages. I'm sorry, 2 sets of flails. And then 1 every 4 seconds.
Boarding operation failed. Boarding party
Okay, at least one of my boarding pods got hit. You can load your personnel and see the status, and this is good. I've got quite a few of them cutting the hull.
Almost breached them.
Now all we have to do is keep those shields below 5% and they'll be fine. Actually below 6 or 7, but I've already done a lot of damage to the ship. I'm trying not to fire any more than I have to. Ah! For the second time I didn't need to do that. Okay. It's going to take a lot more damage than it should have. Look at the status of your personnel. This is really good. They're all fighting. I can stop and get out of here now. You can actually jump if you want. Again, I'm strafing his fire because it's hitting me.
Deck 1 cleared.
Very good.
Blowing hatch.
You're on deck 2 now.
Stand clear. I need supporting fire.
That probably means I've lost a Marine or
I
2.
need supporting fire.
It's okay though. We've still got. Still looks pretty good.
Deck 2 cleared.
Deck 2 cleared. They've got to go through all 5 decks, and then they'll hit the core and try to hack it. And if they hack that, we'll capture the ship.
Advance, Egg Brothers. Deck 3 cleared. Throwing smoke. Advance, Egg Brothers. Short, accurate bursts.
They're on deck 4. I'm going to SATA just a little bit here.
Deck 4, blowing hatch.
Alright.
Stand clear.
They're on deck 5.
I need supporting fire. I need supporting fire.
I've lost a couple of Marines, I think.
Deck 5, Sentis beginning access.
Alright, they're hacking the core.
We have control.
And that's it. The ship is ours. I did quite a bit more hull damage to it than I should have. I shouldn't have fired that extra flail. So far in my experience, I've found that once you're down to 5%, if you go ahead and launch the Marines, then you can launch your 2 covering flails right after launching them, and that tends to fend off some of the point defense so they don't get all of your pods. And I accidentally hit an extra flail or 2 at the end there, which brought him down. So this would have been closer to 65 or so %. That would have been pretty good. So there you have it. Captured a Mammoth. That's like a 30 million credit ship. The same principle applies to larger ships. You just have to be more careful with your timing, and you'll have to also be aware of where the weapons are, so you can get into their blind spots, especially with something as large as a Boreas. I'm going to work on that later. That's been a challenge, but I'm getting closer. I think that basically covers it. I mean, this is one way to handle boarding with an M7M, and I'll look at some more options later, but I hope that will help you try your first larger op. And you know, a station transporting ship is that's a pretty nice catch. So there you have it. I hope that helps, and we'll see you next time.